Alright guys, last time we worked on this, we put this box right here on the other end over there. But after we got thinking about it, that's solid rock over there. There's no way of digging to bury the line. So I'm gonna move it on this end because I know there's some fill dirt here. So hopefully we can put the line here and bury it on this end under the house and just run it under the house this way. It'd be easier for us because there's no way to dig over there. That's solid rock. That's one big rock. There's no digging over there, and there is some dirt here. So, and we just need it to be slightly underground. It ain't no big deal. Because ain't nobody gonna be driving on it or anything like that over in the yard. What we did is I bought 2 rolls of number 10 wire. These are 500-foot rolls. I didn't buy them new. Well, they are new. They're brand new. But there's a guy doing a closeout, and I got both these rolls for like 60 bucks, I think, and they're 150 in the store.
Yeah, 60 a piece.
Yeah, they're 149 in the store, and we got them for 60 a piece. So I mean, that's the reason. They're both of them's white, but I'm gonna mark them. One of them with red tape to know the positive and negative. And we actually we priced the gray PVC stuff or whatever it is, the electrical conduit. We was gonna use that, but it was just so expensive. So what we went with is this. This is 1-inch gas line. It's direct burial gas line. And the inside diameter on it is pretty large. I mean, I can get 4 or 6 wires through there, you know. The plan is to run my wires through here, and I'm also going to run a 12-2 wire inside of it too. I'm going to put a 12-2 wire in it down there, and I'm going to run like a plug-in and a couple lights up here. This way when we're up here working or something, we'll have a electrical outlet in here. So I guess first thing we need to do is pull out this wire. What I'm gonna do is pull the wire out 100-foot lengths. I'm gonna run 4 in it. One for this set of solar panels we put on a couple weeks ago or a week ago, and then I'm gonna run another set on the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in 2 more, a positive and negative for that side too, to run down there to the same inverter. And like I said, I'm using the square D breakers, so I'm going to run the flexible pipe from here to the panels. Then from here out, it's going to be this gas line from here all the way into the breaker box of the house. Or not the breaker box, but the solar disconnect that I'm putting inside the house. I'm going to have a disconnect here and a disconnect inside the house both, just in case. But let's see. Oh, I gotta make in my MC4 connectors. I'm gonna make 2, actually 4. I'm gonna make 4 that goes up there to run those over to here. So I'll need a positive, negative, and a positive, negative. I'll need 4 lines. That won't be too bad. I got plenty of these, so I have to make these up and run them over there. These are gonna be through the conduit, the flexible conduit. And let's see, I guess let's get this pulled out, and then we'll come back and show them what it looks like after we pull the wire out. Alright guys, we pulled 4 equal lengths of this wire, number 10 wire. Yeah, it's all white wire, I know, but we marked the ends of it. If you hold it up here, I'll show them. See, I put red tape on one, black on the other. That's 1 line, that's 2 lines. Line 1, line 2, I've got them marked and taped together separately. Now I'm going to go through there and I'm going to tape about every 5 foot, tape them together. That way when we pull it through there, it'll be a little easier. And then we have to stretch out the 12-2 wire. It's around
right here.
Oh, she's sitting on it. But anyway, we've got to pull out the 12-2 wire. That way we can run them all together in there. But anyway, let me get these taped and we'll be back. Alright, we got the 4 strands of wire, 4 of these number 10 gauges run through this yellow pipe. Now we've got to figure out a way to get it under the house. We're going to try to dig, because we're going to rent a ditch witch and bury it. I ain't going to dig it with a shovel because this is all rock or hard as rock, so I'm not going to dig it with a shovel, but I'm going to dig down enough to get it under the house and get it under there.
Then I'm going to climb under it and grab it.
Yeah, then Amanda's going to climb under the house and grab it and pull it over to where we need to come up. There's already a access point in the floor over there that I've used to bring all the other panels in. So we're going to bring all this in there too. Hopefully pipe and all. But it'll be out of the way, you won't be able to see it. And then once we get that, we'll have to hook it up, put the box up, and I have to run the two, well actually 4 lines to the panels over to the panel, to the box, the breaker box, or disconnect, whatever you want to call it. And then basically just hook it up in the house to the charge controller. So, but I'm gonna put a disconnect in there too. I'm gonna put one in the house. That way we've got one on each end of the wire. Let's be a little safer with that. But anyway, we'll get it under there and we'll be back and show you what it looks like. Alright, we got the wire run through this pipe. Like I said, it goes around and under the house. You can show them that. Like I said, I'm not going to bury it with my hands because that's rock. I'm going to rent a ditch witch, but I'm in no hurry to do it because it's over here out of the way. I'll do it sometime this year, I know, because I know I'm going to have to run a couple more. I should run them through here with these, but this right here it was hard to get through. We had to cut it in like 20-foot sections and put it back together just to get it run through here. So I'd rather just run another pipe, more wire, 4 more wires to it, than to do that, than do any more than this. So we didn't run the 12-2 in it neither because it was just too hard to get these in there. So what I'm going to do is hook these up in here, and once I get hooked up, I'll show you what it looks like. Alright guys, what I got is got all the wires run up, and here's my ground, of course, positives and all that stuff. But the ground bar, positives. But this runs down through this yellow. I'm actually going to paint this green to match this so it don't stick out so bad. For now, anyway. And it goes down, and then around, and then up down to the house over there, on that side over there. It goes under the side of the house. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to rent a ditch witch, and I'm going to bury it, but I got about 2 more pipes I'm going to lay down here too with it. I know I could have put a bigger pipe and done it all in one big pipe, but yeah, that's bad enough right there. So that's a 1-inch pipe. It's a 1-inch direct burial gas line pipe, what it is. And the inside diameter of it was a lot larger than the standard 1-inch, like Schedule 40. I guess what I'm trying to say. I thought I'd have more room in it, but what I did was I got 4 10-gauge wires running in it and down all the way through it, and it was so hard to get through there. I didn't run a string. We had to cut it in like 25-30-foot sections. I cut it, and then we ran the wire through it, and then pulled it through, and then the actual fittings for electrical conduit is a perfect size for this. It works and everything. I just use regular PVC cement to hold it, and it actually does good. But I went ahead and put tape on it too, just in case, because I don't know, it's kind of weird about it. I guess I'm afraid it's going to come apart, but it doesn't come apart yet, and I've bent it around and up around the house. But should have plenty to follow there, and I left some slack. That way I can push it more into the house or pull some out of the house as we need it to bury it. We're just going to follow around the rocks, wherever the rocks are not, because this is all one big rock, and field dirt pushed in on top of it years ago where we had it fixed. But like I said, the rock starts right there, kind of right on this side of the trailer. And this whole thing, where this is sitting, the chicken barn here sitting, where this is sitting, and behind it is one gigantic rock. Down there where the house is at, the rock goes under there. And believe it or not, this is the same rock that goes under there. We had field dirt pushed in on top of it to level it enough to do what we got to do, and you know, as far as running all the lines and all that stuff in here. But it done pretty good. But like I said, I'm not going to bury this by hand. So let me get these right here hooked up. I'm gonna hook these up, and then I'll have to make 4 wires to run from the solar panels up top. I have to run a positive, negative down. I'm gonna run it through that flexible conduit laying over there. I got it out in the sun. See if it'll straighten out any. But anyway, that's gonna come down and around and into here. Then I'll have 2 breakers here, so it'll be 2 strings, 6 in series, and then each string's gonna go into a positive. And then I'll have the breakers turning down into the house, into the big charge control. Anyway, I'll get these hooked up and I'll be back. Alright, what I'm doing now is I'm going to try to hook up one of these, the MC4. It's starting to get dark, so probably tomorrow before we can finish. Because this right here took all day just run that line and get that line through that. It's been a pain in the butt. But I'm gonna try to do, before it gets dark, I'd like to hook the solar panels, at least a couple lines up to the breaker panel here. But I gotta work on that. I'm gonna hook up a couple MC4 connectors here. I guess I can start, anybody that ain't never seen one hooked up, I can start all over and show you what it's like. You get your connector here. Here's your watertight fitting. Let me take it all off, and that way I can show you what it does. This right here is where you strip your wire and put this, clamp this on, and then you got this right here. But you get here's your MC4 connector. This will be the male, and this is actually screwed together like this. You unscrew it. Once it comes apart, you got your watertight fitting right there that goes on the line. Well, actually, you need to strip it first, but you can put this on. That's the nut. Then the watertight fitting, it has to go in that direction. Let's see, let me make sure I'm putting it on right. No, actually, I think I put it on wrong. You go in that direction. Let me take this apart and make sure I'm putting it on right, because I done forgot. Yeah, okay. That goes that way. That keeps the water and moisture out of it. Okay, and then I'll take my wires here, my wire trimmers here, and trim off enough. Right here. Kind of mark it with your finger how far you want it to go in there. I want it to go about right there. So I need to trim it off to about right there. Okay. Then.
Okay.
Alright, well, as I was saying, you take the fitting, or the, whatever you call this thing, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, you put it on there. Just kind of crimp it on to the line, to the wire, best you can. And fold this other side around. These are not the right pliers for this, just so you know. That's the only ones I got. I don't think I've got no crimpers for this stuff. Just get it on there the best you can. It's got to be on there good, where there's a good fit, good tight seal on it. Just like that. Make sure it won't pull off the line. Once you get it on there, you'll know if you got it good enough or not, pinched on there. Because you can try to pull on it, if it won't come off, you're good. Okay, that one's on there good. Okay, so what you do is you take the other end of this right here and you push this in there until it clicks. You'll hear it click. Just like I heard it click right there. Okay? You push the other two pieces back on with the watertight fitting in there, just like that. And screw it together. They make a wrench for these things that you can tighten all this up. And it seals it really good, but I've always had good luck with just doing that right there. Seeing it's in there good and it ain't coming out. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to run this through that conduit, but I'm going to run it over and hook it up first. Well, I ain't going to hook it up because then I'll get electrocuted, but I want to know that I got enough before I run it all over here. So let me get this run over here and I'll be right back with you. I don't know where it's going. What I'm trying to do is get it right under here, but it ain't going so damn well. So I want it to go over the J channel, or the, what do we call them things we put in there. Alright, as soon as I get this done, I'll show you what it's like. Alright, next day, we wired the solar panels, and that was a nightmare. I don't know, we've been working on it all, didn't film it all because it's just been a nightmare. I don't know what's going on with the wiring on the, I mean, it's pretty simple, plus and minus, you know. But some way or another, it wasn't that simple. Finally got it all figured out, straightened out. I'm attaching the wires out here for now because we're about to run out of time again, but it's all hooked up in the box, and I've got it. And just so everybody knows, this is what they call a QO breaker box, load center. This is rated for AC and DC, just so everybody knows. I mean, a lot of people question that, but you can Google it. It's rated for AC and DC. So it's used on solar systems a lot. These things are, and a lot less expensive than like the Midnights and all that stuff, the combiner boxes. So basically what it is, I made a combiner box out of a QO, a Squire D QO box. Like I said, it is rated for DC. This is. We just run the wire up and attach it here in this loom. But we're going to finish attaching it here. This is just temporary, like I said, because I still got to get some conduit. The flexible conduit wouldn't work, so I'm just going to get the gray, or I might get some more of this whenever I run the other line. Just use some to go up here to it. But right now it's under here. It's done. It's fine. It is working. After I get through buttoning up the wire, I'm going to put some more fasteners on it to hold it. I ain't going nowhere now, but I want to fix it to where it's really good and I don't have to worry about it. I want it safe. Then after we get done with this, we'll go down and show you how it is down there in the charge controllers and stuff. And I'll show you what all I've done down there. I got that, well, me and Amanda got that hooked up last night. And I just got to finish this wiring right here. It's been a nightmare. The voltage on it is reading anywhere from what, 15 volts to 200 volts. It fluctuates so bad, and I know it's because of the clouds and stuff, but we'll see. Right now it's working. It's putting out 200, and actually, be right back, and I'll take this cover off, and I'll show you what it's putting out. Alright, I got my meter out. It's set on DC voltage, and I'll check one leg. This is one string. 158 volts, 157 volts, 155. It'll fluctuate because of the clouds. It'll go up to like 210, 220. Okay, here's the other leg. Pretty much spot on, 154, 152. Like I said, it'll fluctuate too, if that'll get it. But I mean, it's putting out. Breakers are on, going to the house. All right, let me put this cover back on, finish this. I'm just fastening everything back down, tightening up all the wires because I had to take them loose to figure out what was going on with the wiring. We've been working on this wiring for the last 5 hours trying to figure it out. Finally figured it out. It's been a nightmare. Something so simple, plus and minus, like I said. It's been a nightmare. But it's working. So let me finish this and we'll show you the inside. Alrighty, we're back inside. I put this through in here. I got the cover over here for it. I just got it off so I can test it. But there's 160 volts on each leg of it, which should be 200 or better, but the sun isn't really that bright right now. But anyway, these are the other two rays that I have. And this is the new ray we just put on top of that chicken barn. And it goes in to this grow up. Well, okay, I took one set of panels out of the grow up and put it into the Midnight Solar because the grow up can handle more. This can only handle 150 volts. The grow up can handle 250, I think. I think it's 250 on it. And I put 200 volts. It ain't getting 200 volts right now, but you gotta realize they're used panels, so it'll be a little less, I guess. But anyway, over 200 volts going in here to the grow up on one leg of the grow up. It's got two legs. And then I have another leg right here that going into the grow up. It's like 100 volts. So yeah, you can kind of mix them up a little bit, 100 volts, 200 volts, and different legs. But anyway, this one right here is on the front porch. No, I'm sorry, this one's the front porch right here, and it goes into the grow up. But this right here is the array. It's up there beside the chicken barn, the 8 panels, and the 4 panels on the back porch makes 12 panels. But they're wired in 4 in series, and then 3 parallel. You know what I mean? So 4, 4, 4. So it goes in here, and this goes into the grow up. So that's probably a little over 100 volts right here going in the grow up, which is plenty because, like I said, it only handle 150. But as you can see, I don't know if you can zoom in on that. Let's see if it'll show it out there. It's showing 24 amps going in the batteries off of this right now, and it's cloudy. Well, somewhat cloudy, somewhat shiny, somewhat cloudy. Okay. And this one has got 40 amps don't know if you can see that. 45, 44 amps going from the new array. And the other little array, which the sun's definitely not on the other panels over there. The leg 1 of this. Leg 2 is the new panel we just hooked up, and it's 50 amps right now, which is pretty damn good if you ask me. And so total 73 amps coming in from the solar panels right now. 73 amps. That's quite a bit. I don't know if it'll zoom in on this or not, but 84% is where the batteries are at. And we got 64, 62 amps going into the batteries. So it's taking about 10, 12 amps to run the house right now is all. So the rest of it's going in the batteries. So it's charging pretty quick, 64 amps. And that's pretty good. Alright guys, I'm gonna kind of wrap this one up with this step of it. I still got to bury the line. Like I said, I'm gonna rent a ditch witch to do that with the solid rock. But anyway, just want to show you 23 amps coming in on this one, and we have 51 amps coming in on this one. That's what the new array I just installed, the 12 panels. So, I mean, hey, that's pretty good.